Rebecca, get off my books, especially that one. Get off. No, get off the books. Max. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Bryony and I am one half of the Indecisive Readers. Today I am here to do a book haul. My last reading vlog, the final anti-romance readathon, was basically a book haul because I brought and was given a lot of books whilst I was in London. But I'm just doing an official book haul today. Also because when I filmed my reading vlog, I obviously had a lot of thoughts about the books I was reading, and so I didn't get to read the summary of all the books. So I'm doing that today. It is the start of February, so I don't know if I'll get more books before this video goes up, but I'm just doing it as we are. The first book I have to talk about is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon and the special collector's edition of it. This book is the third book in the Bone Season series, a series about clairvoyance in a world where clairvoyance shouldn't exist. The main character, Paige Mahoney, is a dreamwalker, which is one of the most rare forms of clairvoyancy, and it follows her as in the first one she gets captured by some otherworldly creatures, and then this is the third book, so I can't actually tell you what this one specifically is about. But yes, this is the special edition. It is purple, it has an orange spine, it has like this little flower, and the most common versions of these books you can get are white with an orange cover. And that's the version Sam has, but he has the first two in these covers, and I know he's really disappointed that the covers changed halfway through. I know when the next one comes out they will be selling the limited edition, so I'd be surprised if he didn't go for that one, but I saw this one on eBay and it was going for quite cheap, so I thought it's Valentine's Day coming up, I would want to give him a present, why not give him this? The next book I have to talk about is this one, The Daughters of Nri or something like that, by Renee, Kay and Mayo. I think this is about two sisters with magical powers in a world where gods don't exist anymore, but I'm not actually sure, so I will just read you the summary. A gruesome war results in the old gods' departure from Earth. The only remnants of their existence lie in two girls, twins separated at birth, goddesses who grew up believing that they are human. Daughters of Nri explores their epic journey of self-discovery as they embark on a path back to one another. Strong-willed Nala grows up seeking adventure in her quiet and small village, while the more reserved Sine resides in the cold and political palace of Nri. Though miles apart, both girls share an indestructible bond. They share the same blood, the same face, and possess the same unspoken magic, thought to have vanished years ago with the lost gods. The twins were separated at birth, a price paid to ensure their survival from Eze Ochichiri, the man who rules the kingdom of Nri. Both girls are tested in ways that awaken a mystical, formidable power deep within themselves. Eventually their paths both lead back to the mighty Eze. So this is a book I'm really excited about. I haven't heard that many people haven't read it, but I've seen lots of people get it and I've been really excited. Also remember, when they first released the cover, the girls were a lot less black. I'm going to kind of like bring it closer to you. But basically they were still black but lighter skinned. And people were complaining about the fact it was black, and so they made them more black, which I just think was great. And I thought, well, I'm going to buy it for that reason if nothing else. The next two books I have to talk about came in the January Lumacrate box, which was Strength Within, I think, maybe. The first book in that box was Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. This is about two brothers who are thrown into a war. One of them's good, one of them's bad. Yeah, I don't think you know which one's going to survive, if one's going to die. I don't know if you know which one's which. I've heard mixed things about this, so I wouldn't necessarily have brought it myself, but now that I've got it, like, I'm pleased to be able to come to those conclusions myself. The second book in the Illumicrate box was The Sisters Grimm by Mena van Praag. This is about four sisters, each born from the same father but not the same mother, and born on the same night. and I assume there's magic, and I assume it's mystical and fairy tale-y, and I think one of them's going to die, but I don't know which one it's going to be. I could have read the summary for a better description, but I'm going to babble instead. The cover is really, really pretty. The edges are sprayed black. My hair is attached. And I don't think this was meant to have come out by the time... Oh, it's signed. I assume they're both signed. I don't think this is meant to have come out by the time the box came out, but I don't know if it's come out yet. But also the end pages are really, really pretty. Like, they've got all fairy tales and things. So, yeah, I'm super excited to read this. When I opened the box, I proper gasped when I saw it. The next load of books I got when I was up in London, so I have kind of done a book haul for them already, but I'm just going to do it again now. The first ones I'm going to talk about I got from Gaged The Word, so all the gay books, and the first one I don't actually have anymore because I have given it to Sam to match the rest of his series, and that is Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. This is the third book in the Heartstopper graphic novel series, which is about two boys called Charlie and Nick who fall in love. They are teen boys and discovering their sexuality and discovering what it means to be in a couple and being friends with all the gay people, and it's just cute and it's fluffy and I love it. I have read it already. I have rated it 5 stars and so good. The second book I got from Gaged The Word was Princess Ever After by Katie O'Neill. This is about two princesses called Amira and Sadie who go on a couple of adventures together. Amira rescues Sadie from a tower and they go and defeat an evil sorceress who has a grudge against Sadie. I also read this book last month, so I will link its review down in the description, and I thought it was really cute. I thought it was well done. I loved the illustrations. They were like really colourful and cartoony. The end pages were also amazing. The story was great. The characters made me smile. The romance was lovely, but I only rated it 4 stars because it's only 53 pages and I just wanted more of their world. The final book I got from Gaged The Word was On a Sunbeam by Tilly Warden. This is about a girl who goes on a space mission, and as she is on the space mission doing spacey stuff, I think they are rebuilding and restoring beautiful broken down structures, she reflects on the relationship she had with a girl back on Earth, or whatever her planet was, back in school. And so again, gay, really pretty, nice colours, very long actually for a graphic novel. I think this is over 500 pages long, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. The only problem is it's got some glue stuck there, so it's sticking about 50 pages of the book together, so I'm frightened to read it because I can't see the whole page. I mean, I can see it enough to read it, but I think I'm going to take a picture and email Gaged The Word and say, can you do anything about this? Another bookshop I went to in London was Bookmongers, I think that's how you say, in Brixton, and when I was there I brought Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is about a girl who's about to turn 11 and on her 11th birthday she's due to die, but as the clock strikes midnight she's whisked away by this magical guy called Jupiter. Whisked away by a magical man called Jupiter to this world called Nevermore, where she is invited to join the Wondrous Society and do magical things. This sounds great. I've heard lots of people say wonderful things about it. I haven't read many middle grade books, so I'm excited to read this. And yeah, it just looks really pretty and shiny and magical, and I think this will be good. I also feel like if it is good, I can give it to my cousin who is about 10 and she might like it. The third bookshop I went to that I got a book from was Word on the Water, which is basically a bookshop on a boat. It's situated near King's Cross and it's amazing. I went back there twice, and yeah, you just walk onto this boat and this guy lives on the boat with his dog, but he's got books there and it's just so good. When I was there I picked up the manifesto on how to be interesting by Holly Bourne. I would have definitely got a book there no matter what it was, but I loved me a bit of Holly Bourne, so obviously I picked this up. I don't have this one currently. It's got nice red sprayed edges that the cat's fluffed all over. I think it smells a bit smoky. That's it. they like the smell of cigarettes. That would be why they were all laying on it. It does have a couple of water spots on it, which I actually think is quite cool, because whether or not they came from the boat, it's going to remind me that I got it on a boat. I have written in the front of all these books where I got them from, because where it's a trip to London, I'm hopefully going to keep them. So this book is about Bree, who isn't popular but wants to write a book. And when she's writing this book, someone tells her that she needs to live a life worth writing about, and so the manifesto on how to be interested is born. It says on the front, Rule 1, one must be attractive. Rule 2, one must make friends with other attractive people. Rule 3, one must fall in love with someone forbidden. Rule 4, one must lose sight of oneself, get into a huge emotional mess and break down as a person. Rule 5, I guess you want to know how it ends, you'll just have to keep reading. And that sounds really interesting to me. I love all of Holly Bourne's books. They're great about feminism, about friendships, about being girls, and I have high hopes for this one as well. Speaking of Holly Bourne and speaking of London, also when I was in London I went into another bookshop that wasn't an independent one, and I picked up It Only Happens in the Movies by Holly Bourne. I have read this one recently. I got a copy from the library, but when I saw this one was available, I thought I'm going to have to pick that one up. This is about Audrey, who is writing her media studies project on romantic films and dissecting them and pointing out all the bad things and all the stereotypical things. And as she's writing them, she's going through a relationship herself and kind of looking at that relationship through the lens of romantic movies. I thought this one was really, really interesting. Once again, it deals with feminism, it deals with love, it deals with relationships and friendship and family as well. And I rated it 5 stars. It was great. The next books I also got when I was in London, but I got from a mentoring session at HarperCollins. The first is Lies, Lies, Lies by Adele Parks. This is a thriller kind of thing about a family that seems perfect, and they've finally got to be their happy family of 3 that they've always wanted, but then after a party things spiral out of control and the happy family unit isn't exactly what they want it to be anymore. I don't know if I would have picked this up on my own. I haven't read many thrillers myself, and so I'm interested to be given it with a good recommendation, because it has made me excited to read it anyway, and it'll be a nice break from all the romances I read last month. So I'm excited to pick this up when I can. On a similar vein, I was also given Sleep by C.L. Taylor. This again is a suspenseful thriller kind of book about a woman who can't sleep and so goes to work in a hotel, but when she gets to the hotel there are 7 guests there and 6 of them are telling the truth but 1 isn't. They're actually a murderer with their sights set on the main character. Again, not the kind of thing I'd pick up on my own, and so I'm really, really interested to read it. I'm actually quite excited to read it. I do want to pick it up. I don't know when I will, so I kind of want to do it soon whilst I'm still in the mood for it, so I might put it on my tentative TBR for February. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. It looks quite short actually, only just over 300 pages, but obviously it's not the kind of one you can just pick up and read a chapter, because I imagine you'll want to read many chapters at a time. The next 2 I got from HarperCollins were proofs. The first one comes out in March, and that is This Lovely City by Louise Hare. This is about London, I think, after the Windrush, so when loads of people have come over. Is it from the Caribbean? I'm really sorry, I know nothing about the Windrush, but I think it's after loads of people have come over following Windrush. It's all going well, it's all happy, and then something happens and all these people that have moved over get the blame for it. Because I don't know a lot about Windrush, I'm really excited to read this, not necessarily for the romance that will undoubtedly be in it, but because of the history and finding out something about my country that I don't know about. I also think it'd be really interesting commentaries about race and stuff. The other proof I got comes out in April, and that is Never Saw You Coming by Hayley Doyle. This is about a girl called Zara and a guy called Jim who meet unexpectedly. It says collide, so I assume there's going to be like a car crash or something. I think Zara is moving over from New Zealand and Jim lives in England, and Zara has uprooted her life to start afresh in London, and then they're gonna crash and unexpectedly fall in love. So And this would have been really good to read last month, but I got given it at the end of the month, so I didn't try and squeeze it in. But yeah, I'll make certain to read both the proofs before the release date, or at least around the release date, so I can talk about them when it's relevant. The next few books I probably shouldn't have brought because I obviously spent a lot of money in London, but I couldn't help myself. The first one I got was The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. I brought this because usually I'd borrow it from the library or something, but she is actually coming to my local bookshop to presumably to talk about this, so I thought I want at least one of her books to have signed, because I'm definitely going to try and go, because I haven't been to many book events and I want to try and make an effort to go to more, especially at my local bookshop, because we don't get many big authors, and so I feel like I should be there to support it if they do come. I'm also really interested in this because this is about witches in Vardø. Yeah, which is in Norway, or a Norwegian island, and it's based on real life, but it's not like a non-fiction book. It's based on a storm that happened in Vardø in 1617, where I think all the guys died, and so the island became inhabited by only women, and then 18 months later other people come in and are surprised by the fact that women can survive on their own. I think it also has witches and lesbians. That's how the bookseller told me. He said, "Have you read any other of her books?" And I said, "I've read The Deathless Girls." And he was like, "Oh, they're quite similar. They both got lesbians." So yeah, I'm excited to read that. I'm going to try and read this month. The next book I picked up, I probably shouldn't have picked up because I do already have a copy, but this one was pretty and sparkly and extra, and that is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This is the W.H. Smith Fiction Book of the Year version, so the cover's a bit different. It's a darker green rather than that kind of pastel-y green. It's got gold and it's sparkly, as you can see. This is about Tiffy and Leon, who have a flat share, but they don't just have a flat share, they have to share the bed. Tiffy works during the day like a normal person and sleeps at night, whereas Leon has a night shift and so works at night and sleeps during the day. So they share a bed but never meet, but then end up leaving each other messages and fall in love. So I loved this. This was one of my favourite books of last year. It was one of Sam's favourite books of last year. I would have liked for this to have some special content, but it was half price and it was really sparkly, so I brought it anyway. The final books I have to talk about, I'm actually going to talk about together because they are 2 copies of The Priory of the Orange Tree. I do obviously have an actual copy, but this is the Italian one and this is the paperback. So baby book and Italian cousin. I can't read Italian. I did do Italian at IB, which is basically A-levels, but that is what I did Italian for. One of my best friends is Italian, and I saw how pretty this cover was and thought I kind of want to have my own copy of it just for show. And because I'm drawing on my edition, I thought maybe I'll draw it on the Italian one. But if I just show you the naked Italian Priory, so it's got a dragon or a worm. I actually assume it's a worm, but there's a dragony beastie thing across. It's also got orange sprayed edges. It's got a little ribbon bookmark. Does it have... The end pages are really pretty. I don't think the English ones are that nice. My friend was really impressed by all the maps. So it's got the maps. I do think they have that in the English one, but it's just really pretty. Obviously, I've got no chance of understanding this, but I would like to relearn Italian, so maybe this will encourage me to do so. The inside of the dust jacket is really pretty as well. It's got maps and things about all the different kings and queens. So that is the Italian version. I got it as a Christmas present, so at least I didn't technically spend money on something I can't read, but I did get my friend something in return for buying this. The English baby is here. I'm so excited to finally hold it, and also now I can film videos about Priory and not break my arm filming them, because when I did my video about feminism I had to keep stopping because my arm ached so much, whereas this is quite tiny. Yes, it's still that thick, my hair is attached to it, but it's not hardback and it's not that tall, and I just love it. When it came out in the bookshop and I saw it, I was like, oh, baby book. But yeah, I've brought this because I'm planning on rereading it. If you are interested, I will link it down below. But I'm planning on rereading this over a few months and annotating it. I have some sticky notes, I have some sticky tabs, I have pens, I have pencils. I'm going to draw all over this, I'm going to write all over it, I'm going to highlight it, I'm going to stick notes in, I'm going to colour in the maps because I saw someone else do that and that's a great idea. I'm going to colour in the dragons, I'm going to put little illustrations at the front of each chapter, I'm going to put sticky notes in each chapter so I know what happens, and I'm just super excited to read this. And now I have a priory shelf. I have the Italian one and then I have my one in the middle, kind of spread out, you know, where it's like that. But oh yeah, look at the spine as well, that's quite pretty. But yeah, it's spread out like that but properly because I'm going to draw on it, and so at the moment it's just the outline, but it's pretty, and then this is next to it. So I'm super excited to read all of these. One bonus book I forgot to talk about earlier from my book haul is The Frog Princess by E.D. Baker. This is the book that the Frog Princess Disney film is based on. So presumably it's about a girl that kisses a frog and turns into a frog. I can't remember exactly, but weirdly I was thinking about it a few weeks ago, and then I was at work with Sam and found this in the discount bit for £3, and I thought, why not pick this up? It's actually about a princess. It says Princess Esmeralda is not exactly an ideal princess. Her laugh sounds like a donkey's bray rather than tinkling bells. She trips over her feet more often than she gracefully curtsies, and she hates the young Prince George, who her mother sees as a potential son-in-law. But if Emma, as she likes to be known, ever thought to escape from her frustrating life, she never expected it to happen by kissing a frog. One kiss with the frog, who calls himself Prince Edric, and Emma's whole life turns upside down as the two of them set off on a deliciously original, hilarious and fast-paced fairy tale adventure. So I haven't actually seen The Frog Princess, but it does sound a bit different because I think it's just the guy that's the prince in that. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm really excited to read this when I do. I haven't actually included any non-physical books in this book haul. I have brought a couple of Kindle books, but I forgot to include them, so I will do a separate book haul for those soon, but I've only brought 2 or something. I've also read a lot from the library at the moment, so maybe I'll do a book haul of that as well. They are on the floor, and the fact that they are about to be in sight of the camera probably tells you just how many I've got. There you go. Isn't that fitting that Priory is the last one you can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's 16 I have here, and how many extra ones? 2, maybe 3 I had. I don't think I can carry them. Not working as well. No. I can't hold it up. How did I do this so well last time? They've all fallen in my face. Priory, you betray me. Peace out, guys. So, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Oh no, she's stuck. Are you stuck? Can you not get onto the bed? Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. You can do it, Max. Go, go, go. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you're not already. Let me know if you have read any of these books or if you want to, or if they are also on your TBR. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!